Get ready. 5 seconds. Start. This assembly decided last year almost unanimously, I think, in favor of general widespread disarmament. The great nations of the world have committed themselves to it. The United States, through its president, recently put forward proposals which are in line with what this assembly has decided. The Soviet Russia has put forward proposals to the same effect, varying them slightly but essentially aiming at the same thing. There is a good deal of commonness about them in broad outline. If that is so, why should we not grasp this opportunity and remove the fear and terror from people's minds and devote our energies and resources to the advancement of the world? This major and outstanding question must be dealt with speedily, and the great countries, especially those which have the greatest responsibility, should address themselves again and again to the consideration of this problem together through negotiations to reach agreements. Such agreements cannot be merely agreements between some countries, however great. These must represent all the members of the United Nations. But I do think that it is better for a few countries to deal with this problem to begin with. I feel rather strongly on this question, although we in India are probably not situated in the major theaters of a possible war. Everything that man has striven for in the past thousands of years is at stake today. While I feel as strongly as possible about the freedom of the colonial countries and other dependent people, I do think that the biggest question today is the question of war and peace and disarmament. Para. The General Assembly passed a resolution recently about nuclear tests. It was a great misfortune that after a period of abstinence from nuclear tests, there was a resumption of these tests. Immediately, it becomes more difficult to have treaties for ending nuclear tests because the whole atmosphere becomes one of fear and apprehension. I do think, and I would beg the countries concerned to realize that they are doing a grave disservice to the world, to their own countries, by not putting an end to nuclear tests by treaty as quickly as possible. The Assembly passed a resolution in favor of some kind of a moratorium. No one imagines that a voluntary moratorium is going to solve this question. There must be stricter controls by treaty and otherwise. Nuclear tests are basically evil forever.